Ain't nobody, they can't fire me. I make too much money to get fired. So they can't fire me.
How does Charles Barkley get away with rewriting the rules at ESPN while Shannon Sharpe's career is crumbling under the weight of scandal? One's acting like he owns the network, dodging assignments, and calling his own shots, while the other's stuck fighting legal battles and public backlash. This isn't just a story about two sports media giants. It's a wild saga of power, favoritism, and the unspoken rules of a cutthroat industry.
I can tell you, I also spoke as co-chairman of Disney, the boss, Jimmy Pitaro, who made it very, very clear we are taking this matter very seriously.
We're diving deep into the drama, the deals, and the double standards that have everyone talking. By the end, you'll be questioning who really runs the show in sports media. Let's get into it. Charles Barkley's playing a game most can only dream of. Back in 2022, he signed a jaw-dropping 10-year, $210 million contract with TNT, a deal that made headlines for its sheer size. At the time, Barkley was already a household name, beloved for his unfiltered takes on Inside the NBA, where he's been a staple since 2000. His mix of humor, honesty, and basketball insight has made him a fan favorite, pulling in millions of viewers alongside co-hosts Ernie Johnson, Kenny Smith, and Shaquille O'Neal. But here's where it gets wild. TNT lost its NBA broadcasting rights to ESPN starting next season, meaning Barkley's massive deal now falls under ESPN's umbrella as they license Inside the NBA. You'd think a new network would mean new rules, but Chuck's not having it.
2 different radio national shows, and I said, I don't want to talk about LeBron James every freaking day, or Brett Favre, or Aaron Rodgers, or all the bullshit you got to talk about. I don't want to do that every day. Now you're going to ESPN, and you've been critical of ESPN, particularly their coverage of the Lakers. What are your thoughts as this is your last season heading over?
Yeah, Dan, I'm not going to change. I'm going to do what I want to do. Nobody's going to tell me what to say or what to do. I thought I get upset. They're like, the Lakers are contenders. I'm like, no, they're not. No, they're not contenders. You know, Kendrick Perkins, who don't know his ass from a hole in the wall. He's like, the Lakers are contenders. The Lakers are contenders. And I said, they're not contenders.
In a recent sit-down with Dan Le Batard on Outkick, he laid down the law. I'm not talking about LeBron James or the Lakers every day, he said, blunt as ever. I'm not doing Get Up, First Take, or SportsCenter, none of it. Barkley's not just pushing back. He's rewriting the playbook. He knows his contract's guaranteed, fire him, and ESPN's still cutting checks for $210 million. That kind of leverage lets him move like a king, daring the network to challenge him. But how did he get this bold, and why is ESPN letting him run the court? The answer's rooted in his unmatched value. And it's about to get messy. Barkley's defiance isn't just talk. It's a masterclass in knowing your worth. Let's set the stage. Charles Barkley isn't your average analyst. A former NBA MVP and Hall of Famer, he's been a media powerhouse for over 2 decades. His work on Inside the NBA has won 19 Sports Emmy Awards, and his chemistry with the crew is the kind of magic networks can't replicate. When he sat down with Le Batard, he didn't just reject ESPN's assignments, he threw shade at their whole operation. Take his jab at Kendrick Perkins, an ESPN analyst who's been pushing the Lakers as contenders. Perkins can't tell his ass from a hole in the wall, Barkley quipped, dismissing the idea that the Lakers are championship material. He's not stopping there. He's refusing to be a team player, skipping extra shows and telling ESPN to take it or leave it. They can't fire me, he said, laughing. If they do, they're paying me for 7 years. And I'm quitting way before that. That's not just confidence, it's untouchable swagger. Barkley knows he's a ratings magnet, and ESPN's banking on him to carry Inside the NBA when it moves to their airwaves. Back in 2022, when TNT secured his deal, reports from Sportico noted that Barkley's contract was a strategic move to keep him from rival networks like NBC or Amazon, who were circling as the NBA rights war heated up. Now, ESPN's stuck with a star who won't play by their rules, and they're not lifting a finger to stop him. But while Chuck's living large, another media giant's watching from the sidelines, and he's not happy. What's coming next will make your jaw drop. Now, let's talk about Shannon Sharpe, whose world flipped upside down in a matter of months. Sharpe was riding high, co-hosting First Take with Stephen A. Smith, pulling in a reported $6.5 million a year, and building a media empire with his Club Shay Shay podcast. which racked up millions of listeners. A former NFL star turned broadcaster, Sharpe's charisma and Sharpe takes made him a fan favorite. But in April 2025, a bombshell hit, a $50 million sexual assault and battery lawsuit filed in Nevada by a woman identified as Jane Doe. The allegations are heavy. She claims she met Sharpe at a Los Angeles gym in 2023, when she was just 19, and what started as a consensual relationship turned dark. According to court filings reported by TMZ, she alleges rape in October 2024 and January 2025, backed by leaked audio where Sharpe allegedly threatens to choke her and explicit texts that paint a troubling picture. Another lawsuit from Michelle Bundy Evans, reported by Radar Online, piles on similar claims of misconduct. Sharpe's fighting back hard, calling it a shakedown and insisting the relationship was consensual. His legal team even revealed they offered $10 million to settle before the suit, but it fell through. The fallout was swift. Sharpe's $100 million podcast deal with the Volume Network collapsed, and ESPN had him step away from First Take. Insiders told the New York Post that Jason Kelce, the retired NFL star, is being eyed as a replacement, and Sharpe's return to the network is anything but certain. The man who was once untouchable is now stuck in a legal storm, fighting to clear his name. So why's he on the outside while Barkley's running the show? The contrast is stark, and it's about to get uglier. The double standard between Barkley and Sharpe is screaming loud. Barkley's out here bending every rule, refusing to play ball with ESPN's plans, and they're letting him slide. Sharpe, one whiff of scandal, and he's out the door. Why the difference? It's all about value and image. Barkley's a one-of-a-kind draw. Inside the NBA averages 5 million viewers per episode, per Nielsen ratings, and Chuck's unfiltered style is a big reason why. Losing him would be a disaster for ESPN, especially as they take on the NBA package in a $76 billion deal that's already raising eyebrows for its cost. Sharpe, though, isn't in the same league. He's a star, no doubt, but replaceable. Disney, ESPN's parent company, is obsessed with its squeaky clean image, and Sharpe's legal mess was a PR nightmare they couldn't ignore. Posts on X are buzzing with fans and insiders calling out the hypocrisy. One user, at SportsTruth22, wrote, "Chuck can say whatever he wants, skip shows, and ESPN's cool with it. Shannon gets hit with a lawsuit, and he's gone. Same network, different rules." There's even talk, unverified, that Sharpe's been venting to colleagues, accusing ESPN of playing favorites. Some insiders claim he's negotiating a payout to settle his contract and hush other potential scandals, though nothing's confirmed. Former ESPN anchor Sage Steele jumped into the fray on X, blasting Disney for what she calls a broken system that punishes conservative voices faster than it deals with scandals like Sharpe's. Another ex-employee, Ashley Brewer-Kaminsky, shared her own story, saying she got chewed out for an Instagram post about a Republican congressman while Sharpe stayed on air, at least briefly. The tension's real, and it's exposing cracks in ESPN's world. But there's another twist. Barkley's already planning his exit, and it's shaking the network to its core. Barkley's not just defying ESPN, he's got his eyes on the exit. Earlier this year on NBA TV, he dropped a bombshell that sent shockwaves through the industry. 2025-26 will be his last season on TV, period. With 7 years left on his $210 million deal, he's not riding it out to the end. "I've talked to other networks," he said, "but I ain't going nowhere other than TNT." Now that ESPN's taking over inside the NBA, he's doubling down. He's not doing extra shows, not stretching his career, and definitely not playing nice with colleagues he doesn't vibe with, like Stephen A. Smith or Kendrick Perkins. Barkley's been open about his disdain, especially for Perkins, whom he mocked for hyping the Lakers. "I'm not sharing airtime with people who don't know what they're talking about," he said on Outkick, and you can bet he means it. This isn't a negotiation tactic. Barkley's got nothing to prove. He's already a legend, with a net worth estimated at $60 million before this deal, per Forbes. Unlike Stephen A. or Sharpe, who are still grinding for their next contract, Chuck's looking at retirement on his terms. He even hinted at passing the torch to younger analysts like Jamal Crawford or Vince Carter, signaling he's ready to walk away. ESPN's banking on him to boost their NBA coverage, but he's making it clear, he's here for one last ride, and they'll get him on his terms or not at all. Meanwhile, Sharpe's fighting a different battle, and it's not looking good for him. Shannon Sharpe's not going down without a fight, but he's in deep. Behind the scenes, word is he's furious with ESPN, feeling like Barkley's getting a free pass while he's left to twist. Sources close to the situation, cited by Outkick, say Sharpe's been vocal with colleagues, questioning why his legal troubles got him sidelined while Barkley's antics are ignored. It's not hard to see why he's bitter. Sharpe was on a rocket ship. His podcast was pulling A-list guests like Cat Williams, whose episode hit 50 million views, and he was holding his own against Stephen A. on First Take. But the lawsuits changed everything. The Jane Doe case, with its graphic allegations and leaked audio, painted Sharpe in a light Disney couldn't tolerate. Add in the Michelle Bundy Evans suit, and it's a 1-2 punch. There's even a rumor, unconfirmed, about an earlier incident at Fox Sports during his undisputed days from 2016 to 2023. A source told Radar Online that Sharpe was accused of choking a female production assistant, settled quietly for a few $100,000. His team denied it, calling it a playful interaction taken out of context, but the story's sticking. Sharpe's fighting to clear his name, hiring crisis PR and countersuing Jane Doe for extortion, per TMZ. But every move risks digging a deeper hole. Fans on X are split. Some, like at Truth in Sports, back Sharpe, saying he's being targeted to kill his brand. Others, like at Media Watchdog, aren't buying it. Sharpe had no business with a 19-year-old at 56. Disney did what they had to. Sharpe's at a crossroads, and his next steps could make or break what's left of his career. So what's the real difference between him and Barkley? It all boils down to Disney's iron fist and the power of a clean slate. ESPN's parent company doesn't play when it comes to their image. Their contracts are laced with morality clauses, vague terms like public disrepute or scandal that let them cut ties fast. Sharpe's lawsuits, especially with allegations involving a woman barely 19, were a disaster Disney couldn't afford. The public backlash was brutal, with hashtags like #Shannon Sharpe lawsuit trending on X for weeks. Barkley, by contrast, is squeaky clean. Sure, he's throwing verbal jabs and dodging assignments, but he's not sparking legal battles or viral scandals. His controversies, like clowning Perkins or refusing to hype the Lakers, are the kind of spicy takes that boost ratings, not tank brands. Disney's been down this road before. Back in 2021, they suspended Sage Steele for comments on their COVID vaccine mandate, and she later sued, claiming retaliation. Ashley Brewer-Kaminsky got heat for an Instagram post about a Republican congressman. As she shared on X, both called out ESPN's inconsistent standards, pointing to cases like Sharpe's where big names got leeway, until they didn't. Disney's not just about protecting their image, it's about protecting their bottom line. Barkley's a cash cow, pulling 5 million viewers a night. Sharpe's a star, but his drama's too costly. When Stephen A. Smith addressed Sharpe's exit on First Take, he didn't hold back. It's a blow to the show, a blow to me personally, but it's not a surprise. Disney doesn't play. That says it all. Barkley's value keeps him untouched.